Hi guys, been meaning to do a beginner's guide to dashcam installation for quite a while now, and this is a new car that a friend of mine got, so I thought, well, I'll just take some basic videos and try and give you a guide on how easy it is to fit your own dash camera. This isn't even a suction cup dash camera, this is one that uses a 3M sticky pad, but with a few basic guide notes, it's really easy to do yourself and you don't need to get a professional to do it. This is the most common option, especially on low-end cameras. 12 volt cigarette socket molded adapter that just goes into any power outlet. Most of them will actually go in a 24 volt outlet as well, but you'd have to check the dash camera. This is currently becoming the most popular version, a USB cable that powers the camera into the vehicle's USB socket. This is actually the method I prefer currently because most vehicle USB sockets have easily got enough power to power a dash camera. And also the dash camera will be turned on automatically and shut down automatically via the vehicle's central locking system. The slightly trickier option is the hardwire kit, which involves tapping into the power supply from the fuse box in the vehicle, and then that's your 12 volt positive, and your negative just goes to any earth on the vehicle. But you'd have to be slightly savvy with car electronics to do this. Still pretty easy to do, but you'd need to be confident doing it. Another issue with this method is there are various types of fuse taps you can buy, so you need to ensure you know which one to buy so you don't make an error before installation. This method involves removing a current fuse in your vehicle and then installing the fuse tap, which creates another positive outlet, and that then gets crimped to the hardwire kit. This is the camera system we're installing today. It's on offer just before Christmas. It's the Orchid DR02 Dual. I use this in the wife's car and it's been in about 3 or 4 years now. Works perfect. Doing this one-handed, so I don't know how it's going to go. Get rid of that. I'll pause you while I just separate the box. Here we go. So if I just... and there you go, that's what you get in the box. Main camera, rear camera, oh, that's your 12 volt USB socket if you want to use it. Double adapter. Thought it was a single last time. Take that out. Right, so that'll be the rear cable because you've got a 90-degree bend there. So that's your front bracket, main camera, and a spur. Rear bracket and a spur. Some little cable clips if you're not fitting it permanent, and there's your main power cable. And spur pads if you need them, and I'm sure you get a 2-year warranty with this minimum. And he's also got the speed GPS antenna which will be fitted. Power supply is there. Yep. Drill a hole to feed the USB cable through, and the side panel down here, remove that, which then enables you access from there to feed your cable around the back here. So, nice bit of advice when you're trying to find your cable before you put your cable through and you try and risk damaging your cable. Make sure the hole you've pre-drilled is big enough for the USB connection, which is going to go here, right? And then you feed something quite firm and rigid, maybe not metal because you could damage wires underneath, but nice bit of plastic like this that's quite rigid. Feed it through the hole, wiggle it, now you've took the panel off the side, it just feeds through here, and you can see. So all you do is you use some electrician's tape to the end of the cable, tie them together, and then gently pull this back, and you'll feed your cable through. I'll show you that in a sec. Right, so we now need to feed the cable through the dash. So we're going to attach the USB to here, put some electrical tape around it. Try and do it without knocking the camera. So you just wrap it around several times. And if you can, cover the neck of the USB so it doesn't get damaged if it snags on anything. See if I can do it in one go. It's hard with one hand, so as I pull that through, the cable goes through the dash. May take some negotiation. And there you have your power lead. You cut the tape off, and then it can power straight into the USB. Put your rubber mat back down, and it's as neat as you're going to get. And then you feed it under the carpet, across your plastics, up. I mean, you can remove your door seal, feed your cable where there's no airbags. Just pull your door seal off, it's not a worry. So obviously up, and then if you can see there, your cable goes through that gap there, across, and then into your roof lining underneath. Can you see how that moves? You've plenty room there, and then your power cable is sourced, and then you work out your situation for your camera. You always use your wipers first, so you don't end up with your camera outside the wiper streak. And from the driver's perspective, try and have it hidden behind the camera, not down here, definitely not here. MOT failure. So this is roughly where the driver's head would be. It can easily go anywhere there, and it's not going to obscure your vision any more than the actual mirror. When you've got your front power cable in, leave your rubber door seals off, yeah, and what you do is you then run your rear cable from your camera up into the headliner, again across the little gap of the plastic there, so you can get your finger down the gap. If you get your finger down, you can easily get a little wire, and then that goes across the top. Avoid your airbags. If you've got an airbag in the way, you can just pull your full door seal off and go all the way down, go across your seat belts. But ultimately, if it's safe, same with your rear door, you open the door, you pull the door seal off, across the back, again across the gap in the plastics if there's no airbag. If there is, just go across the bottom of the seats into the boot, and then up the door seal from the boot. Really important that you reinstall the door seals and the boot seals correctly, properly, otherwise you get water in your car. So that's the electrical tape removed. So what you do is, when the camera's connected, you'd plug it in, leave a little bit of excess just in case,
reinstall the rubber mat. So, hold on a second. So when it's complete, it looks nice and neat. So that's the installation complete. You've got your power cable, the GPS sensor for your speed, and it also sets your date and your time. And this cable, if you can see, is the rear camera cable. It's had to be mounted a little bit lower than normal because of the plastic housing. It was taking away about 25% view, but from the outside, I'll show you on the pictures that it's virtually invisible. So then what you do, your cables, you could do it neater, but it's just a quick fix. Into your roof lining, plenty of room up there to hide cables. There's the GPS sensor. Obviously across the roof lining and the and the air strut plastics. Pull off your door seals as long as you've no airbags. Hide the cable. You can either run down the door and go around airbags if you know airbag up here, or you can avoid it, go behind it. So obviously across your door seals, nice and neat. With this one, I've managed to get behind the airbag because there's an airbag here. But because you get a lot of cable, you can go down the door and into the boot. But obviously you've got to be careful if it hinges here. Refit these. But I've gone across there behind the airbag, open the boot, door seals off, the boot seal, hidden any excess cable in the cavity between the body and the plastics, and then there's your rear camera. So from the outside, obviously the rear camera completely invisible unless you know to look for it.